Hi guys. Hello, hello. If I'm sitting a little weird, it's because our beautiful little baby girl is sitting in my lap right now because she was very ornery this morning and followed me in here. So she's napping. Her tail's wagging, so she's not really napping, but she's right here. Hello. We're gonna play a little bit of Mistonia. I'm only gonna have about an hour and 45 minutes now. I was trying to get everything ready before I started my stream, which is important. That way I can stream for as long as possible and also know that I'm not worried or thinking about the fact that, oh, I didn't pack my bag yet. Um, so it's gonna be about until noon, which is in almost 2 hours, a little under. But hopefully we'll get through at least the first chapter. That's my hope and dream. If we get through 2, that'd be even better. Not through 2, but a little bit into 2. I doubt we'll get through 2. Most of the chapters have been about an hour and 40, hour and 20 on the shorter side. I think we had one that was just an hour, but I think it was more because I was just chatting more during that one. But yeah, so we're gonna stream this. My schedule right now, I know I keep saying I'm gonna post my schedule and have an active schedule. The issue I'm running into right now is things keep coming up. So like, I don't know what my schedule's gonna look like yet for February, so I can't make a schedule for February. I'm waiting to find out how that's gonna look. It's not my job, it's other things, so I'm just like, we'll see. But my hope is that I'll finish Mistonia in the first or second week of February, hopefully before Valentine's Day. And that way we can start Itahari in the second part of February, because that is on my calendar, if I recall. And then we have all of March into April to get it done so that we can play the next one. And I haven't pre-ordered that one yet. I was looking at where I wanted to pre-order, if I wanted to pre-order it from the manufacturer, if I wanted to pre-order it from a third party. I don't recall there being anything special for pre-order it through the manufacturer unless you buy the special version, but I'm at the point in my life where I like physical media, but I don't need soundtracks like that. The Five Houses Conference resumed at the Bernstein Mansion several days after the Queen's Ball, so this is picking up right after the Queen's Ball. We just met the Queen. I know I was saving this for Valentine's Day, but I'm just going to buy another one if I like it. I didn't have any other energy drinks in my fridge right now. I don't remember drinking one of them, but sometimes when I eat ramen, I'll grab one without thinking, so I might have drank one not when I wasn't streaming, because I had like 3. But I'm excited to try it. This one is 10 calories. It's 200 milligrams of caffeine. We're going to try it right now. 0 sugar. So someone said it tastes like cherry Coke. Or cola, not Coke. I can taste that. It tastes way more cherry than that, though. It's almost dipping into tasting like medicine. Just a little bit. Very strong. But I like it. It's not too bad. We'll see. We'll see how I drink it.
博覧会の会場となるエディパークの開発計画は現在までのところ順調に進んでいます。
The development of Abbey Park, which will host the exhibition, has been going well so far.
準備に必要な雇用も地域の経済活性化にもいい方向に動く予定で。
Should I push back? See? No, not really. She's too low. The revitalization of the local economy is expected to move in a favorable direction based on the number of people we need to employ and preparations. So my dog's afraid of technology. That's why I'm holding my controller. I usually set it on my leg, but I'm afraid if I set it down, she would jump. She actually is a little bit nervous about the cord. I'm going to unplug it. Hopefully it's charged up enough. And I'm talking about her, so she knows, and so her tail keeps wagging. Yeah, she's scared of technology. If you put your phone beside her, she runs. She runs so far away. Edward moved the meeting along efficiently, documents held in one hand. Edward is clearly trying to make up for the delay of the late last meeting caused. I kept an ear out for any valuable information being shared as I remained standing by the wall as any servant would. I'm surprised. I'm just trying to get the boogie. Oh, hang on. Have the invitations for Fremdelin been arranged? Are we going to meet Fremdelin? I feel like we are. Is that where he's from? Is that where Ascot's from? Chi-Chi. There we go. There you go. It's gone now. No more boogies. Such a good girl. Had the invitations for Fremdelin been arranged, that would explain why he disappears after the queen disappears every time. And we already said that he's not like one of the main 5 houses, that he's just like the person that answers for them. I guess that makes sense.
すでに招待の準備を始めています。特に外交に関わる重要な要人は確実に招くことができるよう早めに。
We started preparing the invitations, those for important diplomats in particular. We want to make sure they're invited early.
当日の警護の手配についてはウォード家に任せてください。
You can rely on House Ward for security on the day of the event.
適材だな。とはいえ、会場だけでなくローアン全域となると人手が足りない箇所も出るだろう。
Good idea, however, we may need to cover all of Rowan, not just the venue. There might be areas where we lack manpower.
その場合はバーンスタインとクレスウェルから少し人員を回す形で補うということで進められると理想的かと思います。
In that case, we could make up for the shortage by supplementing with personnel from House Bernstein and House Crosswell.
全体の配置を確認してからそのあたりはまた相談させてください。
Agreed. Let me go over our overall arrangements and I'll get back to you.
これで大体の話はまとまったな。もう詰める話はないだろうし、僕は帰らせてもらう。
I'm so excited. Lucas is next. We're gonna go to Lucas next. It looks like we've covered everything. Nothing else needs finalizing, so I'll be leaving now. Lucas tried to rise from his chair the moment the discussion had ended without any deviation. What? She's not used to me talking this much. No information related to the queen came up this time, huh? That said, meeting the queen out of the blue like last time had been expected. I stepped forward to see Lucas off, determined not to let myself feel disheartened, but
お
then...
やルー君、もう帰ってしまうのかい？早めに会議が終わったのだから、もう少しみんなとのお茶とおしゃべりを楽しもうじゃないか。
What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Why is your hair so crazy? You still had one eye boogie, sorry. I had to help. It was required. I'm required to help get those. There you go. Because I keep talking, she thinks I'm talking to her. Oh my, leaving so soon, Lulu. The meeting wrapped up early. Why don't you stay for a while, enjoy some tea and chat with us? Lucas's face did visibly darkened as at Ascot's offer.
くだらないおしゃべりで時間を消費するのは前回の無意味に終わった会議だけで十分だ。
I'll pass. I've had my fill of wasting time on nonsense after that pointless meeting last time.
確かに前回話がそれてしまったのは申し訳ありません。ですが今、ルーカスさんが退席するのは困ります。
Things did indeed go off track last time. I apologize for that. Even so, you leaving now will be troublesome.
そうだね。今
Exactly.
回は博覧会の他に話し合うべき重要なことがある。
You have something important to discuss alongside the exhibition. Something important. Is it related to the queen? I quietly warmed tea on the trolley, waiting for Ascot to speak. Much to my disappointment, however, what he said had nothing to do with the queen.
今この国を騒がせている4つの事
He's
件
like,
のことだよ。
it looks fine. I was like, I just realized I didn't refill my water. Did I not refill your water? You're so expectant, but I never carry snacks in my room. I don't know what you're thinking. It's about the 4 incidents that are currently causing countrywide stirs. Lucas came to a halt. The 4 incidents, that must be the thing Goneril mentioned. To no one's surprise, the 5 houses were aware of all the incidents. Everyone's expressions tensed slightly, not just Lucas's. A smiling Ascot spoke, ignoring the tense atmosphere.
最近国を騒がせている羽狩り、チェンジリング、落日の渡りガラス、
Here, how
青
about
の
this?
ロビンのうち
Better for your head. Lay your head there. The country's been in an uproar lately over the Wing Hunters, Changeling, the Twilight Ravens, and Blue Ribbon.
チェンジリングの行方不明事件が最近特に増えてきているらしい。
And it seems that the disappearance of changeling cases have been rising.
特にピュアの精神が入ったヒューマの子が姿をくらますことが多いそうだよ。
Apparently, it's especially common for children with a pure face spirit to vanish. Changeling. They were beings created when a human child's spirit and a face spirit switch places. I heard incidents of them going missing had occurred, but I didn't expect the number of cases to be growing. Lost in my thought, I felt Alfred's gaze turn in my direction.
ローズ、お前は外へ。
Rose, you can leave.
別にいいじゃないか。この件はあまり認知されていないだけで、わざわざ隠しているわけじゃないだろう。
I don't mind if she stays. It's not like we're deliberately hiding anything. This case just isn't well known.
私も同じ意見です。ちょうど皆さんの紅茶も切れていますし、おかわりを入れてもらいましょう。
Agreed. Besides, we ran out of tea. Let's get some refills. Understood. I shall pour some more. I bowed my head and immediately got to work. Of course, I didn't forget to listen in on their conversation as well.
博覧会の安全のこともある。何より陛下のご心労を考えれば。
We also have to think about the exhibition's safety, more importantly, considering Her Majesty's
一連の
worries.
事件がいち早く解決するよう尽力する必要があるな。
We must do our best to ensure that the incidents are resolved quickly. I'm just talking.
すでに羽狩りについては私が。
There's no one here. It's just me and you. But I am not talking to you, I know. Did that help calm you down? I'm already looking into the Wing Hunter incidents. Lord Alfred and Lord Linus have started investigating the Twilight
青のロビ
Raven.
ンについては他の3つと違い事件性がありませんから。
Oh, wait. Is Lucas his, No. Oh, John. John is his love triangle. I see.
しばらく様子を見ることにして。
Lucas is Alfred's, right? So then Alfred would be Lucas's when we're Lucas. Lucas's triangle would be with Is that what's happening? Is your leg sliding? Do you want me to move my leg so your leg can move? Is that what you want? So you don't slide so much? I see. Unlike the other three, no criminal activity is involved with Blue Robin. So we've decided to monitor the situation for now. You know who has a blue bird on their emblem? Isn't it Edward? Which is weird, right? If he would be that person. Edward pointed at the documents he held and confirmed the assignment distribution. Ascot opened his mouth as if to cut him off. Is your mom home? Is that what's happening here? Do you want down? Go for it. There you go. Oh my good. You literally... Edward pointed at the documents he held and confirmed the assignment distribution. Ascot opened his mouth as if to cut him off.
ではチェンジリングについては暇そうなルー君の担当で決まりでいいかな。
I thought my sister was home. That's all. Didn't realize. In that case, shall we have Lulu investigate the changeling? He seems free.
断る。
I decline.
暇なものが担当するというのならあんたでいいだろ
If the task is to be assigned to someone who's free, then it should be you.
え
Huh? Ascot looked flustered now that everyone's attention was on him.
そうですね。ルーカス卿にはまだ博覧会関係でこなしてもらいたい仕事がありますから。
Indeed, Lord Lucas still has some tasks related to the exhibition that needs to be
リ
handled.
ンデル家の出番は陛下周りのことでまだ先ですし、この議題を持ち出したアスコット卿こそが適材適所ということで。
And since House Lindel is scheduled to handle matters concerning Her Majesty later, it's only right that Lord Ascot take on the task now. Besides, you brought it up.
参ったな。私もね、決して暇ではないのだけれども。
This is a problem. I'm not exactly free myself, you know. Ascot twirled the end of his hair, his expression clearly showing how bothered he was. Is he, though? Is he like... My hair did not straighten right. I'm angry about it. Alfred gave him a cold
あなた
stare.
の場合女性と遊ぶ暇をなくせば時間はいくらでもひねり出せるでしょう。
You'd have more than enough time if you stopped fooling around with women. He's like, pivot, what if I fool around more?
アルフレッド卿の言う通りだ。 少しは時間を有用に使うといい。
Lord Alfred is right. Try using your time more wisely.
いえ別に女性と遊んでいるだけではないんだよ。私は陛下に呼び出されることも多いから。
It's not as if I'm only spending time with women, you know. Her Majesty calls on me quite often.
でもまあ
But,
余計な詮索をされ
well, did Ascot just mumble something? His voice was too low, though. I couldn't make out what he said. I thought he might repeat himself, but Ascot flashed his usual smile, that one that captivated noble women. I'm going to do something that maybe I should have done a little while ago.
仕方ない。わかったよ。未来の麗しき美女たちがさらわれるのは私としても心苦しいからね。
Fine, I'll do it. Seeing all these future beauties disappearing is hard after all. Such a begrudging response. He is always bringing up women, but aren't boys also being targeted? His earlier comment bothers me, but it doesn't seem like anyone else heard it. I don't think it'll be brought up. I carefully poured tea and handed out refills, pretending to be interested in the conversation. However, when I was about to place Ascot's tea in front of
どうぞ
him,
事件の調査で忙しくなったら君に会う機会も減ってしまうね。
oh right, Rose, if I'm tied up with the investigation, I suppose I won't be able to see you as often, eh? He flashed a smile at me and seemed as if he was expecting something, so pardon my rudeness, but I believe I haven't had any chances to meet with you to begin with. I laid out the facts without hesitation. I saw Lucas cover his mouth and to stifle a laugh from the corner of my eye. The other's shoulders also shook in laughter, aside from Ascot, of
それは
course.
そうなのだけれど。君の家のメイドは手強いね、エド君。
I suppose that's true. Your maid is quite formidable, Ed.
彼女は真面目な女性ですから。
She's a serious lady, after all. Ascot shrugged in resignation, disappointment on his face. Pardon me. I quickly finished my task, ignoring the
思
exchange.
い返せば、デベタントで陛下とお会いした時も、緊張こそしていたが、失敗はしなかった。
Alfred, don't call me out like that. Now that I think about it, I remember her being nervous when she met Her Majesty at the debutante ball, and yet she didn't mess
あ
up.
なたの軽薄な笑み一つで揺らぐような使用人ではない。そういうことだろう。
My point being that she isn't the kind of maid who is swayed by your superficial smile.
君たちも手厳しいね。けれども、もっともな意見だ。
You're all being a bit harsh, but it's a valid point.
ああ、そうだ。陛下といえば、先日の舞踏会が終了した後に、ご体調について話を伺う機会があった。
Oh, speaking of Her Majesty, I had a chance to ask her about her health after the ball. When I heard the name of the person I had sworn revenge on, I froze. I wasn't the only one who was surprised. Linus and the others stared at Ascot.
俺たちは何も聞いてい
We
ませ
haven't
んけ
heard
ど
anything.
雑談交じりの話だったからね。けれども、そう。一応君たちにも共有しておいた方がいいと思ったんだ。
It was merely a casual chat, but I figured it would be good to share with you all.
そんな重要な話があるなら先に言え。危うく一人だけ何も聞かずに帰るところだった。
You should have brought up such an important matter sooner. I nearly left without hearing anything. I wanted to stay and learn my enemy's current condition,
あり
but
がとう、ローゼ。君は下がってくれるかい？
thank you, Rose. Would you mind stepping out for a moment? Of course. Please let me know if you need anything. Unable to go against my employer's orders, I had no choice but to leave the room. I want to insist on staying, but drawing any suspicion is risky. I wonder what exactly they're discussing about the Queen's health. Maybe I can subtly gather information later. I was about to head downstairs to start my next task as I pondered this when...
あらロース、もしかしてエドたちの面倒を見た帰りかしら。
Rose, are you returning from looking after Ed and the others by any chance, my lady? I swiftly bowed my head to Lily, who had walked over from the opposite direction. Calling it looking after would be an exaggeration, though I was honored to have been entrusted with such a prestigious task.
身分を抜きにしても、あの子や他の御家の方々が何かと面倒なのは事実でし
I
ょ。
just realized my socks are here. I haven't put them on yet because as soon as I sat down, she was like, pick me up. And I was like, wait. Regardless of our social status, it's undeniable that he and the others can be a handful, isn't it?
ほんと。どうして会議のたび何かと揉めたり話がそれるのかしら。
Why is it that things get so heated and the conversation goes off track every time there's a meeting? She has a point. Lily let out a sigh as if she had actually been at the meeting.
そうだわロース。急ぎの用事が入っていないなら、私にも部屋で紅茶を入れてもらえないかしら。
Rose, if you don't have any urgent matter to attend to, could you bring me some tea to my room? Of course, it'll take a moment, if that's alright.
構わないわ。私の部屋で待っているわね。
I don't mind, I'll wait in my room. Thanks. Okay? Okay, not thanks. Lily smiled as she spoke, then walked away elegantly. I saw it as a C at first and went clenerly. Clenerly. Ooh. I lifted my head once Lily disappeared around the corner and headed for the kitchen to prepare the tea. My lady, I've brought tea and
入ってちょう
sweets.
だい。
Come in. After having gotten Lily's permission, I entered the room with the tea trolley. Come to think of it, this is the first time I've been in Lily's room. I glanced around without drawing attention to myself. Everything was coordinated in gentle, feminine tones. I can't remember if I've seen her room before. Keep yawning, oh gosh. It's a room befitting a noble lady of high status. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. I pushed the tea trolley to the center of the room towards the couch where
あら
Lily
いい
sat.
香り。焼きたてのお菓子を持ってきて
Hi,
くれたの。
Sleazy. That smells lovely. Did you bring freshly baked sweets? Yes, Charlotte just finished baking these. I brewed Lily's tea, savoring the sweet aroma of Charlotte's baked goods. After making sure that the fragrance was perfect, I served it along with the treats. Then,
本当にローズは気が利くわね。ティア様に紹介してよかったわ。
truly thoughtful, Rose. I'm glad I introduced you to Lady Tia. Hearing that name so suddenly made my blood pressure go up just like it had during the meeting earlier.
そうそう、聞いたわ。晩餐会ではアスコット教とダンスを楽しんだんですって。
I heard the news, by the way. You danced with Lord Ascot during the ball, didn't you? I thought you interrupted it. I did. It was an honor far beyond what I deserve. Lily's comment made me recall that night. I wasn't fond of being indebted to someone, but Ascot had helped me avoid drawing unwanted attention that day. Although his piercing eyes felt as though they could see through everything.
目を合わせろとも教えた。目で語るん、私にはき。
What exactly were his intentions behind those words? Ascot had undoubtedly sensed something about me. I couldn't afford to trust him, not even for a moment.
ねえ、それでアスコット教とのダンスはどうだったのかしら。
So how was your dance with Lord Ascot? Lily asked, greatly interested. However, I had no difficulty in coming up with the answer. He made sure to adjust everything from the way he held my hand to how he moved his feet in order to make dancing easier for me. I could tell that he was very accustomed to it.
まあ、正解。あの方はこれまで数えきれないほどの女性と踊り、その度に相手を虜にしてきた方よ。
Well, well, you have a point. He dances with countless women, and he captivates his partner each time. Whee! Although I freed her, she is now sitting at my feet, or near my feet. I guess the person I thought was home wasn't home. Man, I also didn't put this on my legs because I didn't want to get dog hair on it. But, oh, I blink it. I must admit that I can't picture it. Lily sipped her tea and looked up and gave me some advice.
この家に仕えている限り、これからもあの方に会う機会があるでしょうけど、
As long as you serve this household, you'll most likely encounter him.
あの方に気に入られてパクリと食べられないようにね。本当に見境がないのよ、あの方は。
If he liked you at one point, that's what's happening here. Listen carefully. Don't let him take a liking to you and eat you up. He really has no boundaries at
ロ
all.
ースはとても可愛いから私も心配だわ。もしも困ったことがあったら相談してちょうだい。
I'm worried. You're so cute, Rose. Don't hesitate to come to me for advice if you ever find yourself in trouble. Eat me up. I'm not some piece of food or anything, but I'll be careful. I wondered if that was some kind of metaphor. I thought about asking someone later, but Lily gave me a puzzled look when I replied.
あなた て。本当に可愛い子だわ。
You really are adorable. Lily giggled again, as I tilted my head in confusion. She's like, I don't understand
壁があるっ
metaphors.
て、それはそのまま性的な意味でしょ。
Eat you up? That's basically a sexual reference. So Evelyn blunt comply nearly made me drop the dish I was washing, but I caught it just in time. Hey, you. No.
あんた本当に分かってなかったの？見た目と性格通りというか、見た目以上にウブなのね。
Right, you really didn't get it? You're just as innocent as you look. No, scratch that. You're even more innocent than you look. Embarrassment washed over me for some reason, thinking about it now. I learned about these things. John didn't know much about romance either, and Riley basically kept me away from anything of that kind. We're also a child at the time, so, you know, that's good. I was lost in thought after hearing Evelyn's explanation. Charlotte seemed to mistake this as me feeling down and tried to console me.
ローズさんは真面目な人だから仕方ないよ。
It's no wonder. Rose is a very serious person after all.
いやいや、
No,
それに
no.
限度があるでしょ。
There's got to be a limit to that.
まあ要するに、アスコット様に恋愛的な意味で食われないよう気をつけろってお嬢様は忠告してくれたのよ。
Basically, her ladyship warned you to be careful and not to let Ascot eat you up in a romantic sense.
アスコット様になら遊ばれてもいいって女性は多いだろうけど。
Countless women out there probably wouldn't mind being toyed by Lord Ascot, though.
そうね。
I would say if he was just a tad more attractive to me, then I probably wouldn't mind, but... I've heard of people trying to get closer to Lord Ascot by joining House Lindel as maids. I see, that was quite enlightening. I was indeed a little embarrassed. I still had trouble wrapping my head around the relationship between men and women. Riley and John warned me I have to be on my guard. A thought crossed my mind. Maybe I can use Ascot's fondness for women to get closer to the queen. The plan came to me after I heard the phrasing explained and finally understood everything. I've been here for a while now, but there's been no progress since the debutante ball. I can't afford to be selective in my approach and waste my time. I don't intend to be eaten, but weaponizing the fact that I'm a woman might be a viable strategy. Using my lady charms.
旦那様が探されていた本が本屋に届いたから、今から受け取りに向かってくれ。
The book his lordship wanted has arrived at the bookstore. Please go pick it up.
外で昼食を済ませても構わないが、帰りが遅くならないように。
Feel free to have lunch while you're out, but make sure you don't return too late. Understood, I'll be headed out. And then I went to the bookstore. Since Nicholas happened to ask me to go run an errand just before my break, I decided to go consult John and Goneril about my plans to get closer to Ascot. However, there he was.
ダメだ。
No.
絶対にダメだ。
Dameda, no, absolutely not. As soon as I mentioned using my womanly wiles to get closer to Ascot, John interrupted me, his scowl overwhelming. You didn't have to say it like that. Ascot's the fastest way to get to the queen, you know?
私もジョン・ボーヤと同意見だよ。相手がそこらの男なら止めないんだけどね。
Did you? Okay, I thought you brought snacks in here with you. I'm with John Boy on this one. I would have stopped you if he were the. I wouldn't stop you if he were any other man. Goneril was against the idea too, just like John. She looked somewhat
いや
exasperated.
そこらの男でも俺は止める。お嬢にはそういうことはしてほしくない。
I'll stop you even if it is a different man. I don't want you to go doing something like that.
まあまあ。そもそも相手は浮世名だたるあのアスコット・リンデル。付け焼き場の色気じゃ逆に飲まれて終わりさ。
The person you're talking about is the well-known Ascot Lindel, a quick, shallow, flirtatious flirtation will only end up with you being consumed by him. Goneril pointed her cherished pipe at me sharply with one hand and narrowed her
それ
eyes.
にチェンジリングの件もある。ユニークであるあんたがリンデル一族に近づくのはちょっと危険かもしれない。
And then there's the changeling issue as well. A demi-fae like you getting too close to House Lindel could be dangerous. Changeling? I tilted my head confused as to why the topic had came up while discussing Ascot. Could he be related to the recent increase in missing changelings?
現状ではあくまで噂程度なんだけどね。
It's just a rumor for now,
こ
though.
の国にいるチェンジリングがリンデル邸に集められているっていう話が今、
Talk
巷で
around the
広まって
city
るのさ。
says that changelings are gathering at House Lindel's estate.
そこから帰ってきたチェンジリングは一人もいないともね。
Not a single changeling has returned.
チェンジリングの調査に当たるのもリンデル一族であるアスコットだったな。
Ascot's the one who's been investigating the changelings, and he's part of House Lindel. Just when John went over the information I'd shared. Now that I thought about it, Ascot hadn't seemed very enthusiastic about it. Could it be that he hesitated to investigate because he's hiding
い
something?
や言ったろ。まだ噂の段階だ。断定するのは危険だと思うよ。
I've told you, it's just a rumor. Jumping to conclusions is
だ
risky.
がまあ、実際にチェンジリングらしい子が市内のリンデル邸に入っていくのを目撃した人もいるのさ。
That said, some people have stated that they've seen changelings enter Lindel Estate in the city.
行方不明事件を防ぐために当事者であるチェンジリングを保護しているって可能性もあるか。
It's possible they're protecting the changelings, the key parties to prevent the disappearances. While the two of them raised other possibilities, my mind raced over the rumors. I agreed. I find both possibilities hard to rule out. There's another possible scenario we need to consider.
単純に家出かね。
That they're
妖精
simply
の精神
running
が入
away.
り込んだ子は親からも持て余されることが多いから。
Parents do usually find children with a fae spirit inside them to be a handful. I've looked into it as well. Their families don't accept them since they've changed so much. In fact, they've become totally different people.
だから彼らの大半は自分がチェンジリングだと自覚した後、町や村の片隅でひっそりと孤独に暮らしている。
Exactly. That's why most decide to live in isolated villages or corners of cities after realizing they're changelings.
仮にも行方不明騒動だってのに、大きな騒ぎにならないのはそれが要因さ。要は、心配する人がいないんだね。
This is also why the missing persons cases haven't become a big fuss. The bottom line is no one is left behind to worry about them. Leaving aside whether this is a good or bad, we should investigate how Lindel is involved in this.
なんでそうなるんだ。俺たちにとって事件自体は関係ないだろ。
How did it end up like this? That case doesn't involve us, does it? But if House Lindel turns out to truly be involved in the missing persons case, uncovering it would allow us to discover Ascot's weakness. We could use that as leverage to approach the queen.
なるほど。そうきたか。
I see, so that's the move you're planning.
お嬢。
Milady! John's face was full of regret. He realized his attempt to shift our focus away from Ascot had ironically drawn us nearer. On the other hand, Goneril seems to be considering her
ま
stance.
あ確かに、五家の一角が誘拐まがいのことをしてるなんて、世に広まったらとんでもないことになる。
I mean, if you've got... Oh gosh. I mean, if word gets out that one of the 5 houses is involved in some unkeen to kidnap, there would be a huge scandal.
色仕掛けには反対だけど、弱みを握るために動くのは賛成だよ。ジョン坊やも、これなら問題ないんじゃないかい？
Well, I'm not too fond of using seduction as a means to an end. I am for working to get some leverage. Don't you think this is fine, John boy? John. I looked at John, hopefully now that Goneril was on board, the idea with the idea after being so reluctant. I stared at him for a few seconds, then he seemed to resign himself.
危険なことには変わりないが、いきなり奴に近づくよりはマシだな。
The move's still dangerous, but it's better than approaching the guy out of the blue. Though his face clearly showed his reluctance, he agreed to my idea. Thank you, John. First things first, we need to confirm if the rumor is true.
それは俺に任せろ。近いうちにリンデル邸の様子を探りに行く。
All right, leave it to me. I'll go investigate the Lindel mansion.
もしそこで空振りだった
That
ら
just reminded
地方
me.
にある別のリンデルのタウンハウス、場合によっちゃマナーハウスも調べる必要があるね。
I was gonna go pre-order the new Pokemon game, and the site I was gonna pre-order it from, it was sold out, and I was really sad, because it had a freebie that I wanted. It made me sad. If that leads nowhere, we might need to check their townhouses in the countryside, maybe even the manor houses.
お嬢、その場合俺はローアンを離れることになるが、大丈夫か？
That's true. If it comes to that, I'll be leaving Rowan. Is that all right with you, milady? And she was like, no worries. I know what we can save over this. This was not a choice. So it's okay if we get John, because if we get the Astray ending first, at least then, and I think usually it's just like 2. You get 2 and you get the Astray ending. Maybe it's 3 sometimes. These might be a little more complicated. I won't make you worry. I won't make you worry, John. I know well enough how foolish taking on the 5 houses all by myself would be. I nodded firmly, hoping to ease John's concern. The tension in his shoulders eased slightly.
それならいい。
Good to hear. I should say the same to you. Don't do anything reckless, alright? If anything dangerous occurs, don't worry about me. Hide
お
immediately.
嬢を残して、俺がそんなことするわけないだろ。
There's no way I can leave you behind, because he's a pure fae, aren't you? Aren't you? Aren't you the child of the queen and the king, or some kind? Something like that. If I lose you, I won't be able to do anything on my own. John was my precious childhood friend, the only survivor from the village. If anything were to happen to him, I might spiral into hopelessness. I won't say that out loud, though. It'd just make him worry.
それもそうだな。お嬢を一人にしたら何をするかわからない。
That's true. I wouldn't know what you were up to if I left you alone. He looked at me as if I were a child being annoyed. Which annoyed me a bit. Don't treat me like a child. I'm not the same as I was back then.
わかってるよ。けど仕方ないだろ。
I know.
心配なものは心
I
配なん
can't
だ。
help but worry.
ジョン坊やの過保護も筋金入りだね。
Your overprotectiveness is on another level, John
俺
boy.
は当然のことを言ってるだけだ。
I'm just stating the obvious. As I watched John retort to Goneril's teasing, I silently repeated my words. That's right, I'm not a child anymore. Even if the changeling case led nowhere, I can still get closer to Ascot using my womanhood.
お嬢、今また変なことを考えてるだろう。
You're thinking something strange again, aren't you, my lady? My heart jumped. He was right, though. Goneril sat in the chair and smiled wearily. She seemed to have sensed it too.
色仕掛けを使うなら、せめて他の5家にターゲットを変えるべきだ。リンデルの旦那は相手として最悪すぎるよ。
If you're gonna use your charms, target one of the other 5 houses. Lindel's the worst possible
俺
choice.
はその方法自体に反対だからな。そもそも調査をまだ始めて
I'm
もいないだろう。
against this method. Besides, investigation hasn't even started yet. I know. I'll think about our next step once the situation changes. After a moment of hesitation, I headed back to the mansion without opposing John or Goneril's opinion. And was it in my fates? As if my fates had heard me on my way back.
やあローズ。
Hey,
こんなところ
Rose.
で君に会えるなんて嬉しい限りだ。
Bumping into you is a pleasant surprise. Greetings, Sir Ascot. Ascot, the person in question, walked up to me casually as though he was the most natural thing to do, that the meeting proceed without any difficulty.
ああ、終わって早々に解散したんだよ。私としてはもう少しみんなと世間話をしたかったのだけれどね。
Yeah, we're wrapping up and disbanded pretty quickly. I would have liked to chat with the others a bit more though.
どうか友人に振られたこの寂しい心を君に埋めてほしいんだが、どうだろう、ローズ？
I've been rejected by my friends. I wish you would fill this lonely void, Rose. What do you think? Oh my god, just run, girl, run. I couldn't exactly accept the invitation after being scolded by John just moments ago. My apologies. I'm still in the middle of
なら
work.
仕事を終えた後はどうかな？君とは話したいことがたくさんあるんだ。
How about after work then? I've got a lot I want to talk to you about. He's not backing down. He should have approached another woman if he wanted to hang out so badly. Why did he keep bothering me?
ふん。
Ascot peered at my face. What is it, Lord Ascot?
いや、
It's just... He didn't respond right away, simply staring deeply into my
君の
eyes.
瞳はあの夜からまるで変わらないと思ってね。
I was just thinking how your eyes are exactly the same as they were that night.
あの時以上に美しくも暗い炎を宿し続けている。
On second thought, they're even more captivating now, though they still hold that beautiful dark flame from back then. The moment my eyes locked on his own, those eyes seemed to see through everything. It was nothing like love, but the fierce heat made it impossible to avert my gaze. Why? Why am I being drawn to his eyes? I knew it was dangerous, yet I couldn't escape. It was as if Ascot's very existence intoxicated me. Lord Ascot, are you... I tried to keep my distance, suspicious of who he truly was, but then... Ah, my, if it isn't Lord Ascot. It's such a privilege to bump into you. The voices of the women running towards us snapped me out of my daze. I hurriedly pulled away from Ascot and took a few steps back to create some
おや、
distance.
残念。この際だから君ともっと分かり合いたいと思っていたのだけれど。
That's
それはま
unfortunate.
た別の機会にするとしよう。
I hoped we could get to know each other better, but let's save that for another time. Ascot gave a small shrug, then turned to the women who had called out to him. I thought my heart was going to stop. It's not the first time I felt this. I noticed something odd in his gaze when we danced at the ball, too. I haven't seen you much recently. I've missed you.
でも陛下が開かれたデビュタントに出席されたそうで、私がアスコット様のダンスのお相手をしたかった。
I heard that Her Majesty attended the debutante ball. I wish I could have danced with you. That's
それ
right.
はとても光栄です。ですが、一輪の花も悲しませずに全員と踊るには一晩では時間が足りませんね。
How flattering. However, one night wouldn't suffice for me to dance with everyone and ensure not a single flower was said.
アスコット様ったら
Lord Ascot. I watched with suspicion as Ascot greeted each woman, smiling warmly at every one of them. He was coming on to me so strongly just a moment ago. This wasn't jealousy, obviously. I was just so taken aback, then I rolled my eyes. Ascot turned to face me. Had my look given me away?
おっと、申し訳ありません。あまり話し込んでいると屋敷に帰る途中の彼女が困ってしまうので。
My apologies. If we keep chatting like this, she might get in trouble on her way back to the mansion. I never mentioned I was going home with him, but Ascot's remark made all the women focus on me immediately.
ああ、アスコット様ったらまたお相手を増やされたんですの？
Goodness, Ascot, have you found yet another partner? We just casually talk about his shenanigans in this common
あ
society.
なたもこの方には気をつけなさい。気がつくと骨抜きにされてしまいますから。私たちのように。
You should be wary of him, dear. He'll have you utterly captivated before you even realize it, just like he did with all of us. The first one's greeted me warmly, but the two behind her furrowed their brows and examined me closely. They looked like daughters of noble families. What nonsense! She's a servant. I suppose she makes perfect companion for some amusement. You shouldn't say such things about someone from another household. I'm sorry. Please don't be offended. No, she's telling the truth. A servant like me isn't worthy of being Lord Ascot's partner. Sorry, come on, let's go before we become a hindrance. Crazy times. Sorry, sweethearts, I'll see you again. LOLOL. The first woman put a hand on each of their backs and gently pushed them away. Sorry about them, Rose. Sorry about them, Rose. I didn't think they meant any harm, but they can say some cruel things innocently sometimes. I believe that applies to you too. I felt like his eyes literally darkened. Look at you getting all bold with your words. I wouldn't say I'm innocent, though, not by a long shot. Your confidence is far too troublesome. I decided I didn't care if Ascot followed me and hurried to the mansion. He certainly never has trouble with women. The rumors about him are probably true. Goneril was right. Gaining his favor by using my womanly wiles will be difficult. If the investigation into the changelings fails, I won't be in a position to choose my method anymore. I glanced at Ascot, who walked beside me. What's the matter, Rose? Are you hoping for a proper escort, perhaps? No, it seems to be too audacious for someone like me to even consider that. My words were humble, and I remained expressionless. My phone rang for a millisecond and it said scam, so it disappeared. My goodness. My words humble, and as I remained expressionless as I walked back to the mansion still, a faint discomfort welled within me as I remembered what that woman had said. A perfect companion for some amusement, huh? I might have been ignorant, but I knew what she meant. I'm not the kind of thing. It's not the kind of thing you should say, even as a joke. I'd rather not see her again, if possible. I returned to the mansion with Ascot in tow and stifled a sigh. In the end, Ascot escorted me all the way to the front door of the mansion. Thank you for today. I'm glad we got to meet up with one another, however short it was. It certainly wasn't a rendezvous. However, I do appreciate your escorting me, Lord Ascot. I bowed to Ascot, who spoke so smoothly and gave me thanks. I hope we can have some proper time together next time. I'd like to ask you directly, but do you think Ed will get in the way? This might be an opportunity to win him over. I couldn't simply dismiss him, so I gave him a vague response. I guess I'll see you next time. I can't wait until the day we can chat properly, Rose. He waved and walked off. Apparently he had returned to the Bernstein mansion just to see me home. He's got 1 and he's got 7. That's weird. I swear I pressed that. I swear. He could use more of that sincerity in his work. Then again, that might be a little terrifying. Those peculiar eyes, combined with his shallow behavior around women, it was hard to accept that those two traits existed in the same person. I sighed deeply now that I was alone at the entrance. That night, and without hesitation,
あんたアスコット様に屋敷まで送ってもらったんですってよかったじゃない
I heard the news, Rose. Lord Ascot escorted you home, didn't he? Lucky you. You could say he escorted me, or you could say he followed me, all on his own. And why does that count as lucky?
相変わらず鈍いというかこういう些細なきっかけが玉残しにつながるってわからないのかしらね
Oh, you're just as dense as ever. Don't you see how little moments like that one can be golden opportunities for our future marriage?
はいこのおすすめの小説貸してあげるからこれで少しは恋愛について学びなさいよ
I'll lend you this novel. It's one of my favorites. Read it. Try to learn something about romance for once. Romance. I took the novel from Evelyn and stared intently at the cover. The novel was well known. I had heard about its title as well as its reputation before. Normally, I'd say I don't need it and hand it back. But winning Ascot over isn't easy. Goneril's advice came to mind. I'm just thinking about how I'm not going to be home. Sorry. This is how my brain works. Can you charge? Will you charge on here? Sometimes it will. My PlayStation on? Here we go. I'm using my PlayStation as a charger. Only because I don't have the little port over here right now. And if I plug it to my computer, it like picks up and drops off the charge. She looks so sad down there. I wonder if I'll learn anything from reading this. I decided I'd be grateful borrowing the book. Take a photo of her. Oh yeah, I got a new stand. Look, it's got Buddy here. I've seen these before. This one's really thin plastic. Not surprising since I got it for so cheap, but... That's what she looks like right now. Just a sad girl. Just so sad. I decided I'd gratefully borrow the book. As soon as I took the photo, she got up. She's like, I don't want to be talked about. Once my work was finished, I returned to my room and wasted no time diving into the novel Evelyn had lent me. A faithful encounter between a man and a noble, a battle of wits and sweet words, a bond that deepened. I get it now. The writing is detailed and beautiful. I understand why it resonates with young women. If I were simply reading it for fun, I might have gotten lost in it myself. However, as I thought, this world is completely out of reach. Unlike the woman in the book, I couldn't come up with any words to close a distance with a man. I wonder if my parents would have found any of this relatable. After all, they were always affectionate with each other. I shook my head, lost in sentiment. I might not understand love or romance, but I want to learn enough to fool Ascot. With Rose still so innocent, I had a feeling he'd end up eating her right up. I wound up... First off, you are Rose. What? I wound up reading Evelyn's novel well past midnight. The very next day, he showed up right in front of me as if by fate.
やあ、ローズ。君と仰せの続きをしたくなってこうして会いに来てしまったよ。
Hello, Rose. I couldn't resist coming to see you. I wanted to pick up where we left off. Welcome. Ascot arrived while I was cleaning the garden, acting like it wasn't unusual. Just a moment, I shall call Lord Edward. And he's like, no, girl, I'm here for you. Ascot blocked my path before I could get back inside. I'm like, girl. He literally said,
待って待って、嘘ではないよ。
I came here to see you. I have no business with Ed.
エド君に用事は何も
I don't know if I mentioned this, but a while back, me and my sister decided we don't like pairing up socks, so we just have a basket of socks. So my socks rarely ever match, because it's more... The rarity of getting the same two is really weird. So today I have Kuromi and a stormtrooper. Hold on, I'm not lying. I really came here to see you. I have no business with Ed. I took a few seconds to respond, not knowing how to answer. Then I decided to ask the question that had been bothering me since yesterday. Why does someone like you bother with a mermaid like me?
君に興味がある。
And what if I told you my interest? Oh gosh, I'm interested in you. When I asked my question clearly suspicious, he looked like he was about to peer into my eyes again. I quickly looked away. Stretching. Hi, TT. You know, I put on this cardigan, but I feel like the sleeves are too short. Like, this is not... It's not how I like my sleeves. I like to hold them. This is too short. And then it keeps bunching. I quickly looked away, avoiding his gaze, and tried to keep the conversation going, but like, innocently? Dismissing him coldly would be easy, but in romantic novels, the romantic novel I read last night, the one woman deliberately engaged with the man flirtation. In that case, if I want to get closer to Ascot, I mentally apologized to John for going against his advice and nodded with determination. I, too, find myself interested in your feelings, Lord Ascot.
へえ
Huh? Ascot mysterious eyes
そ
blinked.
うそれなら
If that's so, Ascot bowed
ど
gracefully.
うか私と会おうぜいやデートをしていただけないでしょうかローズ嬢
Would you allow me the honor of an outing? No, a date, Miss Rose. Huh? It took me a moment to fully process his question. I blinked several times and looked up at Ascot. All I found was an unreadable smile. It seemed my ears hadn't deceived me. Is he teasing me like usual? It would be a shame to let this opportunity slip away. Even if Ascot laughed it off as a mere game in the end, very well, if someone like me is suitable, then I'll be happy to. I mimicked Ascot and curtsied.
嬉しいな君ならそう答えてくれると思っていたでは次の休日君の時間を少しだけもらうことにしよう
One of, I wouldn't say my favorites, but one of the songs from my youth is by Hyuna, and I forget the guy, and it's called Troublemaker. And in the music video, they're both spies, and they're both staking each other out as spies, and it's hilarious because they keep making stupid mistakes. Like, I think they both broke into each other's rooms at the same time. One of them had like a little sound wand that they were like pointing at their wall. I think they tried to poison each other at the same time. And this is what it's giving because like he knows what she is, and she's too dumb to understand that he knows. How wonderful. I had a feeling you'd say that. I'll take a little of your time on your next day off then.
当日10時に迎えに来るよどうか楽しみにしていておくれ
I'll pick you up at 10. Do look forward to it. He whispered softly in my ear before leaving the garden with light, cheerful steps. Oh, am I looking forward to it? I'm looking forward to hearing some valuable information from you, that is. I couldn't stay idle. I needed to do everything I could to get even a little closer to Ascot's heart. I was summoned to Lily's room as soon as I finished my work.
聞いたわローズ次のお休みにアスコット卿とデートをするのですって
I heard that you're going on a date with Lord Ascot on your next day off. Where did you hear such a thing, my lady?
内緒よでもね私恋の気配には敏感なの
It's a secret. I'm quite sensitive when it comes to love. So she doesn't plan on answering my question. I assumed she must have heard it from a servant who happened to have heard our exchange. Lily laughed delightedly. I deeply apologize for my thoughtless behavior towards a guest of House
そん
Bernstein.
なことないわあのアスコット卿があなたとデートこれ以上面白いことはしばらくないでしょうね
I know with confidence that Lily is like evil. Like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And she's also the daughter of a rich guy. She's the daughter of a rich guy. No, 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 no. Oh, Chi-Chi. She agrees. This sounds really bitchy. There's no need. The fact that Lord Ascot is going on a date with you, I doubt anything this entertaining will happen again
デ
anytime
ートに
soon.
赴くための服は持っているのかしら
No.
よければ私が支度をしてあげましょうか
Do you have something to wear for your date? I can help you prepare if you'd like. Actually, let me do it. I don't think there's room to argue. Maybe I should just take her up on her offer. Honestly, I didn't have any clothes fit for a date with a noble. Then, if you're not too presumptuous of me, may I ask for your assistance, my lady?
任せて。アスコット卿も目を奪われるほどの花にあなたを仕立て上げてみせるわ。
Leave it to me. I'll turn you into a radiant flower that will leave Lord Ascot utterly mesmerized. Would you like to dye your hair? Lily's eyes sparkled brightly. She truly looked like she was enjoying herself. Oh no, they're on the ground. They're not in my lap anymore. I don't know why, but I feel a little uneasy. She was clearly treating me like a doll. A hint of anxiety crept over me as seeing Lily's cheerful expression, and she's gone now. That unease soon became reality when I was dragged around shopping whenever there was a free moment.
これで完璧ね。デート当日に間に合ってよかったわ。
Nice, you look perfect now. I'm glad we made time for your
こ
date.
れならアスコット卿もあなたに骨抜きになるはず。自信を持って挑むのよ。
Lord Ascot will surely be captivated with this. Go ahead and take him on with confidence. Thank you very much, my lady. This is my normal clothes. I almost ran out of energy before the date began. Strange as it was to say, I definitely felt a different vibe compared to when I was in my usual outfit on everyday attire. I shall take my leave, my lady. I will not do anything that would tarnish the name of House Bernstein. I will not sleep with a man.
もうそんなことは気にしなくていいのよ。存分にデートを楽しんできてね。
Don't worry about that. Just enjoy your day to the fullest. I will thank you. I bowed to Lily, exited the room, and made my way to the entrance as I arrived before 10. So I'd arrived before 10. Evelyn, Charlotte, and Philip were already waiting to welcome Ascot when I stepped out of the mansion.
しかし、君がアスコット様とデートなんてな。
I never expected you to be going on a date with Lord
ウブだ
Ascot.
と思ってたのに。あんたも結構ちゃっかりしてたわね。
I thought you were new to all of this. Turns out you're quite the sly
後でお土産
one.
話を聞かせてくださいね。
Be sure to tell us about it later, okay? I will, as much as I can. Thank you for taking over some of my work. It's my day off. That shouldn't be taking over my work. I should have no work. It's my day off. What do you mean? Your carriage came to a stop in front of the main gate as I thanked them.
お迎えに上がったよ、ローズ。おや、
I've come to pick you up, Rose. Oh, Ascot turned to the three watching from behind me, his face lit up with amusement.
君も変わったね。初めて会った時はそれこそ何者も近づけさせない瞳をしていたのに。
You've really changed. When we first met, those eyes of yours could keep anyone at a distance. Is that so?
あの時の君も霊老で美しかったが、私は今の君も柔らかくて好きだよ。
You were pure and beautiful back then, but I love the softer version of you. Okay. Whoa! Oh my gosh, they're all blushing except for the guy.
好きだって。
Did he just say love? Oh, did he? Did I not pick that up? I love that the softer. He didn't. Okay, calm down, guys. Calm down. We can't. That's like saying I love ice cream. He didn't like say I'm in love with you. Relax. The casually delivered confession drew 3 entirely different reactions from my coworkers. As for me, I still didn't feel any fluttering. I don't think the word love is something you should say so lightly to the opposite sex. This is not, he wasn't even saying it like I love you. I didn't want to point that out and have him cancel the date, so I held my tongue and took Ascot's
ありがとう
outstretched hand.
ローズ。今日一日、君は私の大切な恋人だ。どんなわがままでも言っておくれ。
I mean, okay, I guess. Could you pay off all my debts? Ascot. Thank you, Rose. For today, you're my precious lover. That's a bit strong. Feel free to ask me anything, no matter how selfish it might be. I'm honored. The carriage set off, carrying a man whose true motives were unclear and a woman whose motives were far removed from love. Ascot brought me to a spacious park, which was a bit of a surprise. I was sure he would take me somewhere more fitting for a romantic atmosphere. Perhaps this was just the influence of the novel I'd read.
顔に出ているよ。 そんなに私がこういう穏やかな場所に君を案内したのが意外かな？
You didn't expect me to bring you to such a calm place, did you? I can see it on your face. That's exactly what I was thinking, if I'm being honest. Hiding it would be pointless, seeing as he already noticed, so I simply nodded.
まあ必要とあらば想像通りのエスコートもできるけれど、君は派手なデートは嫌いではないかな？
No, I can give you the sort of escort you might expect if the situation calls for it, but I'm guessing you're not a fan of extravagant dates. That's true, I don't particularly like standing out. Ascot must have prioritized my preferences. I suppose I had to thank him. Thank you for being so considerate, Lord Ascot.
お礼なんて必要ないよ。君がこの仰せを楽しんでくれることが私にとって何よりのご褒美だからね。
No need to thank me. The greatest reward is seeing you enjoy your time with me. He really has a way with words. Taking Goneril's advice to heart, I made sure not to get carried away and steeled my resolve. I steeled myself. Ascot adjusted his pace and matched mine as we walked down the paved sidewalk.
そういえば、博覧会が開かれたら、君は誰かと一緒に巡るつもりなのかな？
By the way, are you planning to go to the exhibition with anyone? No, I'll stick to my duties at the estate. It would be not proper for a newcomer like me to attend such an event. I have several tasks to manage, including welcoming guests.
それは残念だ。時間さえあれば、私が君を案内したかったのだけれど。
That's unfair. If you have time, I'd love to show you around. I'm sure there are many women who would like to accompany you to the exhibition.
今の私は君に夢中なのさ、ローズ。なんて強引に口説いていたら、またエド君に叱られてしまうかな。
I'm completely smitten with you right now, Rose, but if I... Bless you? But if I keep being so forward, Ed might end up scolding me again. I expected him to keep flirting nonstop, but he's actually maintaining the perfect distance. This was definitely a challenge. I couldn't distance myself, nor could I take the first step. But it made me really curious as to why he kept involving himself with me, not to mention the debutante incident. Lord Ascot, why did you take an interest in me rather than another charming woman out there? Ascot's eyes narrowed when I boldly asked this question.
そうだね。最初は陛下やリリー嬢が気に入る君がどんな子なのかが気になって声をかけたのさ。けれど。
Let's see. At first, I was only spoke to you because I was curious what kind of person could win over Her Majesty and Lady Lily. But
デビュ
then,
タントでのダンスで君が私に見せた瞳に深い闇とそれ以上
TM?
に秘められた魅力を感じた。
oh, you mean for you? Also, hi, Bass. During our dance at the debutante ball, your eyes held a profound darkness, as well as something even more captivating hidden within.
それで君という人のことをもっと知りたくなった。
That's when I realized I want to know more about you. I'm not exceptional enough to be worthy of your attention, Lord Ascot. I moistened my dry throat before speaking, but I wasn't sure if I was able to cover up my emotion.
違う。それは私が決めることだよ。
That's not for you to decide.
この瞳には君が特別な女性に見えているのさ。
You are exceptional in my eyes, and at the very least,
それで君は
she's like losing it.
どうして今まで邪険にすらしていた男の誘いにこうして乗ってくれる気になったのかな？
And you, why did you suddenly decide to accept the invitation of a man you've been brushing off all this time? I'm interested in romance. But like, not like that. A fellow servant told me that I'm a bit out of touch when it comes to romance. I hope that I might at least acquire some understanding by spending time with you.
勉強熱心なんだね。
You're quite the eager learner, aren't you?
けれどそういうことは経験を経て学んでいくものだよ。ローズ。
But you know, those are things you learn from experience, Rose. And I'm here for experience, he whispered his answer. I had to force myself to hold back the complete naive reaction. I heard heavy footsteps coming across the street. The footsteps belonged to a woman probably middle class. Something feels off. She kept her head down, stumbling towards us with wobbly steps. Is she feeling unwell or
ど
something?
うかしたのかな？おや、君は。
Is everything okay? Oh, it's you. Lord. I hesitated, unsure if I should say something. Lord Ascot. She raised her face, her expression ghostly and chilling, and pulled a knife from her pocket. Okay, well... Well, that is alarming. I didn't get any likes with that answer. Ascot's question made me pause and think. I don't want to reveal all my cards, but I have a feeling he'll see right through me if I lie. I was lucky Ascot had taken an interest in me. If I wanted that to last, I needed to do my part. I can take a page out of Ascot's book and make him want to dig deeper into who I am. I sent another silent apology to John, who was likely still investigating somewhere in Roanne, before making my decision and speaking. I feel the same, actually. I looked over at Ascot beside me, conscious of his presence. I continued, the enigmatic look you gave me that night, it's one I just can't seem to forget. I find myself wondering what thoughts occupy your mind and what emotions you harbor. I've become curious and wanted to know. There we go.
そうかそうか。私たちはある意味相思相愛だったというわけだね。
Really? So in a way we're in love with each other.
お望みとあらば。
I can't with the A's. That was trained out of me a long time ago. Is he French?
いくらでもこの目を見つめてくれて構わないよ、ローズ。
If that's what you wish for, you can stare into my eyes all you want, Rose. I will leave that for another time. Oh, not all, not all. Not all. Why does this happen? I will murder this game. I do not put it ever on skip all, but for some reason, every other time I start it up again, it's switched, and I don't get why it's doing that. I'm gonna go back. Not to go back.
それで君はどうして今
Wobbling, raised a knife. I stepped in front of Ascot instinctively, knowing that hurting her could complicate things for me. Why? The woman didn't even spare me a glance. Her bloodshot eyes bored into Ascot, her glare unrelenting. Why haven't you come to see me even once since that night? Could it all have been a mere game? To love and loathe you to the point that I dream of you every night? Ascot made no reply, merely watching her with calm, steady eyes. Then... Is it because of her? Is it because you're obsessed with her that you can't love me at all? Huh? Her murder's intent suddenly turned to me. How dare you lay a hand on Lord Ascot? He's mine. If it weren't for you? If it weren't for you? Ascot was right behind me. If I dodged, he'd be the one who's getting hurt. Therefore, I deliberately stepped forward, closing my distance to the woman. The one with the went was caught off guard. I apologize. I caught her foot and used the momentum to make her fall. I kicked the fallen knife out of the way and pinned the woman from above.
すまないね。突然のことで驚いて。手伝うよ、ローズ。
Sorry, I didn't expect things to go this way. Let me help you, Rose. I had the woman on the ground, and a few seconds later, Ascot helped out too. However, when I looked up at his face, a cold shiver ran through me because his eyes have darkened. Let go of me. Let go. It's the woman who's messing with my love. As he looked down at her, his eyes and lips were twisted in pleasure. A few minutes later, he handed the delirious woman to the patrol person from the yard. They would probably question her later, but it shouldn't escalate into a major scandal like an assassination.
デートが台無しになって申し訳なかったよ。まさかこんな場所まで追いかけてくるとは。
Sorry about the trouble. It's a shame that our date was spoiled. I never expected her to chase me all the way here. It was obvious to anyone that this was the result of an emotional entanglement caused by Ascot.
彼女も冷静になれるといいのだけれど、かなり痩せてしまっていたし、食事もまともにとっていなかったのではないかな。
I hope she finds a way to calm down. It looks like she's lost a lot of weight. I don't think she's been eating well.
美しい人だったのに。早く私のことなど忘れてしまえればいいのだけれど。
She was such a beautiful woman. I wish she could forget about me already. Ascot spoke as if he were concerned about her, but please don't say something you don't truly mean. My voice came out colder than I meant, yet Ascot just looked at me completely unfazed.
どうしてそんなことを言うのかな？君の目には私がそんなにも冷血感に見えてる。
Why would you say such a thing? Do I seem heartless to you? You were looking at the woman just now and smiling. I cut in before he could continue. Ascot stayed quiet, still wearing that unreadable smile the moment he realized I wasn't backing down.
見られてしまったが。
Ah, so you saw that. Not bad. Is he? I guess he could be just a changeling. I guess that would make perfect sense. That's great. And terrifying. Ascot slowly touched his lips, no longer hiding his amusement as he crooked his head. Crooked smile crept up across his face.
ね。笑いがこぼれてしまったんだよ。あそこまで錯乱した女性も久しぶりだったから。
I guess I smiled without thinking. It's been a while since I've seen a woman that hysterical. Hi, I'm Yuki. It's nice to meet you, and I love Atome games too. It's nice to meet you too, Yuki. I feel like we've had a conversation before, but I can't remember. Hi! Ascot's laughter dripped with genuine enjoyment, sending a shiver down my spine. I held his gaze despite this. Is this who you really are? What in the world did you do to that woman? Her breakdown was beyond
何も
strange.
してないよ。と言っても、信じてはくれなさそうだね。強いて言えば、数日の間、いい夢を見せてあげていただけさ。
Oh my god, is he like Alan? Is he just like a virgin? I'm happy to be here again if that's the case. Yeah. Do you also stream Atome games? I haven't done anything, but I suppose you won't believe me if I had to say I only showed her a few pleasant dreams over the past few
遊
days.
んでるうちに飽きてしまったんだ。それで適当に捨てておいたのだけれど。まさかこんな強行に走るとは。
I grew bored while playing with her, so I tossed her aside. Never imagined she'd go and do something like this.
女性の嫉妬とは本当に面白いものだね。
I do, it's
いや、
fun.
時に
Nice.
は男性も。もう少し観察してあげてもよかったかな。
I started streaming so that I would play my games. It's a trap. It's to trick myself. What are you currently playing? A woman's jealousy is such an amusing thing, isn't it? Then again, men aren't much different at times. Maybe I should have watched a bit more closely. Boop, boop, boop. He spoke as if it were nothing, and all that remained beyond the fear and anger I felt was a deep sense of contempt. I don't know her, but from what I can tell, she truly loved you, and you treated her as if she were nothing more than an object. Even with Fae blood running through your veins, I don't think that what you've done is something a person with emotion would do. What are you really?
感情ね。まあ、私が人でなしなのは今更の話だ。
Emotion. Well, it is a little too late to mention that I'm not exactly normal. He didn't get angry. Instead, he grinned and looked straight into my
それ
eyes.
に私が何者かは、
What am
この
I?
際どうでもいいのでは
I
ない
don't think
か
it
な。
matters at this
君
point.
の目的はあくま
A,
であ
it's
の
the
お方で
A's.
私ではない。
Your target has always been them, not me, right? Okay, but like, what are you? I pulled away from Ascot sharply, my weak point exposed. I pressed my hand to my chest, unsettled, and glared at Ascot. Ascot watched amused. The doubt I had at the ball had now been confirmed. He figured out my true identity? What, pray tell, do you believe you know about me? I asked him, still hiding who I really was. Denial would only be seen as
それを
confirmation.
答えたところで、
Dude, I
君
keep
の目的
stumbling.
が達成されるわけじゃない。
Even if I answer that, it won't help you achieve your goal.
私を問い詰めるよりも先にすべきことが君にはあるだろう。
You have something else you should be doing before you question me, don't you? What do you mean? Ascot closed the distance between us and leaned closer to me again.
そうとも。私を利用し尽くすこと。
I'm talking about your plan to use me for everything
あ
I'm
の
worth.
厄介な女王陛下に近づきたいのならば、男の一人や二人、そして自分自身さえも利用するぐらいの気概がなければ無理だよ。
If you wish to get closer to that troublesome queen, you'll need to be prepared to use a man or two, even yourself if it comes to that.
君もそのつもりで、今回のデートに応じた。私に近づいてきたのでは？
You went on this date with that in mind, didn't you? To get closer to me? That's... Ascot chuckled at my cautious response and whispered in a way that almost sounded like sweet talk.
私と恋人にならないか？
Won't you become my lover, Rose? Huh?
私はね、いろいろなものを抱えて闇がにじむ。そんな面白い瞳を持つ君になら、利用されても構わない。
I think my dog just like sneezed in the hallway. I don't mind being used by you to ease your burdens. Your eyes fascinate me. I can see the darkness seeping through them. He reached out his hand and suddenly offered to start a relationship. What? I had considered getting closer to Ascot, but hearing that directly from him caught me completely off guard. I was speechless. What are you really after? I don't understand what you want.
そう警戒されると悲しいな。
It's a little sad seeing you so
純粋な君への
suspicious.
興味としておこう。今のところは。
Let's just say I'm interested in your innocent self for now.
何？心配しなくても。君の目的を誰かに告げ口するつもりはないとも。この手を取りさえしてくれれば。
Fear not, I have no interest in revealing your goals to anyone, as long as you take my hand, that is. He basically told me that no one knew what might happen if I didn't. He basically told me that no one knew what might happen if I didn't take his hand. It was essentially a threat. Looks like refusing isn't an option. If that was how he wanted to play it, then fine. It was a little scary not being able to see his intention, though. Like you said, I would completely use him for my revenge. I'm not going to stay quiet and let myself be your toy, nor will I continue to be manipulated. I spoke quietly and took Ascot's hand.
強気だね。それぐらいの方が飽きが来なくて面白い。
Oh, wait, he's also okay. Like, he's more innocent than he is. He's giving people dreams, right? So maybe he's not a man-ho, a man farming tool. But he's also, like, a little evil. So he's a little Yangy. And he's got red hair, which is a little Yangy, too. So he's kind of like Yang. But the little tattoo, it's making me think that's, like, his, how you know, like, he's a changeling, maybe? He's got a lot of embellishments, though, so... Bold, aren't you? It's more entertaining when you're like this. It keeps me from getting
これか
bored.
らが楽しみだよ。よろしくね。私の恋人さん。
I'm excited for what's to come, ready for the ride, my love. Ascot's smile was beautiful, terrifying, and twisted. After the sun had completely set, I took Rose back to the Bernstein mansion. I felt like walking for a change, so I made my way back to the estate on foot.
久しぶりに面白いおもちゃを得られた。
It's been a while since I found such an interesting
俺にとっ
plaything.
て有益な存在になればいい。なれなければ、暇つぶしのおもちゃとしてただ消費するだけ。
I hope she proves herself useful. If not, she'll just be a toy to pass my time with, consumed and discarded when no longer needed.
せいぜい私を楽しませてくれよ、ローズお嬢様。いや、アプローズ。
Do your best to amuse me, Rose, or should I say, Aprose? I wandered through the filthy alley, humming to myself. The sign that my stagnant time would move again excited me. Just before I took my next step.
そこから出てきたら、あいにくと男性につき回される趣味は私にはないよ。
How about you come out of there? I'm afraid I'm not into being chased by a man. I called out to the man who had been following me, and all this time, and was offered a word of
彼
caution.
女に手を出すな。
Is that my brother? No, not that one.
彼女に手を出すな。彼女に手を出すな。
Because that's not John. Oh, it's my brother. Do not lay a hand on her. I couldn't see him, but his voice dripped with hostility. It was clear he had to come solely to threaten me and force me away from her.
君にそんなことを言われる筋合いはないね。恋人になることは彼女自身が了承したことだ。
I have no obligation to listen to you. She agreed to be my lover with her own free will. He used echoes to skillfully obscure his position. I had to acknowledge his skill, but I couldn't help sneering at his attempt deep
彼
down.
女のことについて話したいなら、直接顔を合わせて話をしない？
If you wish to speak of her, shouldn't we do it face to
君
face?
が来ないなら、俺の方から近づかせてもらうけど。
If you refuse, then I suppose I'll come to you.
何を
What? A chill wind drifted down the alley.
見つけた。
Oh. It was John. It didn't sound like John, but maybe he was intentionally changing his voice. Dang it, I got really excited.
彼女に手を出すな。
Yeah, that's... No, that'd be creepy. I was gonna say, what if that is her brother, but then that wouldn't be a love interest. That's the hell love found you. I showed up right in front of him like a ghost, not making a sound. The poor guy was left speechless. I seized his face in one swift motion, his expression twisted in shock. Interesting, interesting. But that's gonna be where we call it. I got things to do now. Oh, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I honestly thought I was gonna hate his route because I thought it was gonna be too much flirting, but it's flirting with a little bit of menacing acting, and I am a sucker for a problem. Oh my gosh. So that's gonna be fun. I don't know if I'm gonna sneak in another stream this week or if it's gonna be all next week, but I'll definitely post on Discord when I get closer to that time of knowing what's gonna happen. I have been working on new assets for the stream channel. I don't think they're up here right now, but there might be some changes coming soon. Thank you, Baz. Thank you, Yuki. Thank you, Sleazy L, for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, I stream about 3 times a week on Twitch. You can check me out on there. We're currently playing Mistonia. We're going to be playing more Borderlands very soon. We're going to see if we're going to do Borderlands and drinking again. So be excited, I guess. We might. But yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much. I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.